So it's been a difficult process trying to figure out this whole YouTube thing. And it's one thing, I have to realize it's not necessarily about having the best gear. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having the perfect script. It's not about having beautiful cinematography and stuff like that. Sure, that helps at some point. But when you're starting out anything, it's really important to just learn the process, to learn your process. And if you're creating something for yourself, it's really about discovering what your niche is in that whole realm. For me, I've been doing social media mostly for different companies and stuff like that, but doing something for myself has been very difficult because, I'm not a product, and I feel maybe it's simpler to make stuff when you have an idea, when you have something tangible to give, but when it's doing it for yourself, it's very hard just because, how do you market yourself in that way? And I've been trying to reframe things and find what it is that I can give and who am I and what is my niche. I'm trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing with this. When I come back to this video 10 years from now, and when whoever watches this comes back to view this video, I want people to see the progression, and I think that's exciting. I think when we struggle with having to create something, I feel like we have to really give ourselves that perspective, have a goal, set the goal that what we want while we're doing this, and then shed that idea that we have to get there at a certain time. Because, it's going to take time. It's an imperfect process. It's going to take years to really find your place, and it's good to always keep developing. It's always good to keep growing. I think that's exciting. And for me, I feel like when you're struggling with trying to be creative or to find what it is that you want to do, it's important to just put something out there, really put anything out there, especially when you're starting out, is to learn and to mess up, maybe have an idea that's not fully fledged out, because it's all about just getting comfortable. Me personally, I don't know if this is right. I don't know if this is the best way to approach it. And honestly, I'm just going to do things my way and discover things my way and obviously search advice. But, there comes a certain point where you have to stop looking for advice and you have to start doing things. And that's where I'm at the point now. We can tire ourselves out trying to be perfect and to look to other YouTubers or to other artists or whatever it is to get inspiration. And the act of doing that can really distract us from the actual doing part, which is the most important part, because if you don't have the doing, you don't have anything. So yeah, I think this is the chance we need to take. Certainly having a great script, audio and stuff like that is something we can build up to, but getting started doesn't take that much effort or tech. But yeah, so I think it's exciting to see where things grow. And if we can envision whatever thing we're trying to create, I think of it as carving marble. I've never carved marble, but I feel like this probably makes sense. That we chip away at this idea as we work, we chip, we discover things along the way, and we kind of build that, we see it through and develop ourselves in the process. We develop what looks best. Does this make sense here? One thing, I've done social media for 2.5 years. For my first year, I was posting something Monday through Friday for 2 brands. I didn't really know much about food. I like making food, but I didn't really know much about the industry at all or the social media behind it. But I just dove in and I just started creating stuff. Eventually it got really good and I get some feedback from my boss, and I would look out there to see, what's trending, what are people doing, and I discovered my place in that world. And it's very similar to that. But, for YouTube, it is different. For doing things like YouTube or creating something from yourself, it takes time to discover who you are. It's really, because you're really going off of basically maybe your inspirations and what you see out there. So we're basically, I feel like it's definitely a more difficult process because you're selling yourself and you're selling your ideas and you're starting from nothing basically and trying to build something. So I view this journey as an idea of growing. If all else fails and I never get to the point where I'm a full-time creator working for myself, I have this project of mine to prove to myself that I can do something like this. Whatever career I have in the future, this is a good way to build that. Camera presence in general is very difficult, and I feel like if you can get that down, it's a really good skill to have. And everything involved with creating videos too. It's a lot of marketing, writing, editing. Yeah, there's a lot of skills. I just feel like this is a good chance to really get out of my shell in that way too, and yeah, just create something fun. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm really excited to just build something for myself that I can share and having fun along the way and figure out my niche. And I encourage whoever's watching this too, if you're having trouble, what artists like inspire you? Who would you like to emulate? And emulate in a way like, what can I take from this? What can I learn and apply this to myself? I like this. Like, can I do something like this without the expectation of you have to do something similar to that? Because I'm just starting my YouTube journey. Like, sure, I have video experience and stuff like that. If I was inspired by someone like Mr. Beast, for example, obviously, like, I can't afford being as extravagant as his videos are. I can see something in that. Oh, maybe it's like helping people, and then I want to build that and then bring that to my videos as an example. But that's why I advise, just like take inspirations from your life and the art that you enjoy and try to figure out what it is that you want to do.